She returned from the stars for him, the alien mother who couldn't forget her human savior. They said the storms of Varela 9 had finally ended. They lied. The planet had quieted, yes, but beneath its silvery plains, the storms only slept, waiting for something to stir them again. And in that silence, Dr. Aaron Holt lived still, alone among his instruments, older, quieter, yet carrying a peace that only memory could bring. Every dawn, he would look toward the horizon where the Vairani ship had vanished months before, and wonder if he had dreamed it all, the luminous mothers, the laughing children, the alien woman who had smiled at him as if humanity itself had been forgiven. Her name haunted him like a prayer. Seyla. In the distant Vairani core worlds, Seyla of the 8th house stood before the council of elders, her crystalline robes flickering like living flame. Her people had rebuilt, yet their hearts were colder than ever, still bound by fear, still blind to what she had seen. "You speak of the human," one elder hissed. "You risk your lineage for a species that destroys worlds." "No," Seyla answered softly, her voice calm and radiant. "They rebuild them. One man alone on a dead world proved that." She was forbidden to speak of him again. But she did not need permission to remember. Weeks later, a report reached the Vairani fleets. A violent resurgence of storms, not natural, had erupted across Varela 9. The ionosphere was destabilizing. Old war relics buried beneath the planet's crust had awakened, self-replicating drones from a forgotten conflict, feeding on the energy fields and tearing the world apart. Amidst the static, a lone distress call pulsed faintly through the void. "Outpost EOS, system failure, containment breach, if anyone can hear." Seyla heard it. The council forbade any action. "The planet is lost," they said. "Let the human die as his kind chose to live, alone." But Seyla remembered the warmth of his hands tending to her child, the way his voice had cut through the storm with patience instead of fear. She remembered how he'd looked at her, not as a creature, but as someone worthy of care. So she stole a ship. When she broke through Varela's upper atmosphere, the storm greeted her like a living god, writhing in light and fury. Bolts of white plasma ripped across the clouds, tearing at her vessel's shields. The coordinates of Outpost EOS burned on her screen, buried beneath kilometers of debris and electromagnetic chaos. "Hold together," she whispered to the ship. "He waited for us once. Now I will not let him wait again." She dove. Inside the dying outpost, Aaron fought to stabilize the generator core. His hands shook, his vision blurred, the static thick enough to taste. The containment reactor, the same system that had once powered his research, was collapsing in on itself, converting the storm's energy into raw plasma. He had minutes. He didn't even hear the ship land through the thunder. Only when the blast doors tore open did he turn, and freeze. The silhouette in the stormlight was unmistakable, tall, luminous, her outline glowing like dawn through glass. "Seyla. You should not be here," she said, but her voice trembled. "And yet, neither should I." Together they worked, the human and the alien, side by side once more. She interfaced her ship's crystalline core with his failing generator, her hands glowing with bioluminescent data streams as Aaron rerouted circuits. "You came back," he said quietly. "I owed you a debt," she replied. "And perhaps, something greater." The chamber roared as the containment field imploded. A cascade of energy surged toward them, enough to vaporize metal and bone alike. Without thinking, Seyla stepped forward and raised her hands. Her biocrystal veins flared, channeling raw ion energy into her body, deflecting the blast through her ship's field emitters. Aaron pulled her back as the system stabilized, his arms around her trembling frame. Her eyes glowed like twin suns. "You'll burn yourself out. Then I'll burn for something worth saving." The storm howled once more, and then, suddenly, it was gone. Outside, the skies cleared. The lightning died. Varela 9 fell silent for the first time in recorded history. They stood beneath a sky they had both thought they'd never see again, pale, clean, and infinite. Seyla's strength was fading, her luminous veins dimming like sunset. Aaron caught her before she fell. "You saved me again," he said, his voice unsteady. "No," she whispered. "I saved what you are. What all of you could be." He pressed her pendant, still around his neck, into her hand. "You once said it meant kin beyond blood. And it still does." She smiled faintly. "Now it means love beyond stars." Her ship's AI broadcast a message through the calm air, automated, ceremonial. "Vairani Relief Fleet inbound. The storm is neutralized. Human life form detected, alive." Aaron looked up. "They'll come for you. Then let them see," she said, lifting her chin, "that I am not ashamed of who saved me." When the Vairani fleet arrived, they found two figures standing side by side at the edge of the broken outpost, the alien noble and the human scientist, their hands clasped, eyes raised toward the sun. The Vairani commander transmitted a single order back to the council. "The human is under our protection. The old ways end here." From that day onward, no Vairani ship fired upon a Terran vessel again. And deep within the restored archives of both species, a shared entry appeared. He saved 3 alien mothers from the storm. One of them returned to save him from the stars.